How do you negotiate the property price? Hey there, and welcome back to Hypofriend, your favorite channel dedicated to helping you find and get the right mortgage options. My name is Luca, I'm a mortgage expert, and today I'm going to be breaking down 7 effective ways that you can negotiate your price down. If you're watching this video in 2023, then it's especially important that you watch till the end. Prices have been going down since interest rates started increasing in early 2022. As a consequence, it's a buyer's market, and you need to know what you need to do to be able to take advantage of this market and get yourself the best deal. So let's get started. Tip number 1, understand the seller. Before you make an offer on a property, it's important to know why the seller is selling in the first place. For example, if he's trying to avoid paying inheritance tax, well, that means he's eager to proceed, he's in a rush, and he might be willing to accept a lower offer. If on the contrary, he has all the time in the world, that means that other interested parties are going to come along, bid more, and over time increase the price. Understand the seller, ask him the right questions, and that's the first step into negotiating the price down so you get the best deal. Tip number 2. Examine the listing. Now, even though your seller might have all the time in the world in his hands, he still wants his money quickly. It's a buyer's market, but it's still a very fast-moving market. Typically, properties are taken off the market within 1 or 2 weeks. So if you see a listing that has been there for several months, well, that means that either the property is wrong or the price is wrong. So what do? Well, the first step is understanding the property itself. Does the property have any needed modernizations? Has the property even been modernized? What's the energy standard? Is there a leasehold agreement? Are there any hidden costs which might help you negotiate the price down? Is there perhaps a reason why nobody else has bought the property so far? These are all the right questions to ask. So if the property has been there for a few months, do the seller a favor, offer them less so that they can get their money quicker and you can get the best deal. A helpful tool you can use to understand more about your property, its price, and how long it's been listed is called Utilise. We'll add the link for it below, but what it basically does is it's a Chrome browser extension, which when you add will help you understand how long the property has been listed and how the prices have been developing in that specific area over time. Tip number 3, do some research on the property market. Now that research has to be tailored according to your plans. For example, if I'm buying an investment property, I want to find an area where the rental price per square meter is high comparative to the purchase price per square meter, which is going to help me break even, going to help me make a profit. Now, if I'm buying an own-use property, I need to know, hey, is my current rent high or low? One of the key elements that makes it worth it to buy a property is money that you save in rent. If you have a very good rental contract, then it may not make sense for you to buy a property for own use at all. We actually have a video on that topic, so that I don't waste your time, check it out right now. Now, moving on, you need to now do a little bit of research on the prices. Understand the average price per square meter so that you can easily judge whether a property that is newly listed is fairly priced, unfairly priced. This is going to help you be responsive. This is going to help you understand whether it even makes sense to book a viewing and commit to that property. Tip number 4, understand your maximum budget. Before you start negotiating the price down, it's important that you know how much you can actually afford. That way you don't waste an excessive amount of time searching for properties that are outside of your budget. And when you start negotiating the price down, sometimes by understanding the max you can afford, you know where's the limit. Tip number 5, utilize a property evaluation tool. How do you start the negotiation process? At this point, you probably have a pretty good idea of what the price per square meter is in the area that you're looking for. That's a good start. However, the price can vary even in the area itself. So you need a tool that's going to help you understand whether the value of the property in the eyes of the bank is good enough. There's multiple online property evaluation tools. There's a link in the description for one that you can use as much as you want. The reason it's important that you use it is because it gives you a reference point so you understand the value and you can start negotiating, but also it helps you understand what the value of the property in the eyes of the bank is to see whether the financing would be feasible. Also, our mortgage advisors have access to more comprehensive and sophisticated property evaluation tools. So once you reach a point where you're actually interested in a property and you start negotiating, make sure to get in touch with an expert so that you can determine what your maximum budget is and get access to all these free, helpful tools that are going to give you the equipment that you need to start making offers. Tip number 6, set out your price offer. Imagine this scenario. You've made an offer, you think it's a little bit too little, but you haven't gotten a reply yet. Now you're starting to panic, you're starting to second guess yourself. A part of you wants to reach out to the seller again and offer them a little bit more. Hold your horses. In reality, usually the real estate agent or the seller is going to reject your offer within a couple of days if they're not happy about it. Sometimes they sit on the market for a little bit longer. For a couple of months the property is listed and then they get back to you and say, hey, after all, that offer might have not been as bad as we initially thought. So take your time. Usually when you make an offer that is too little, in most cases, in my experience, the real estate agent or the seller is going to get back to you and give you a realistic price point from where you can start working. Tip number 7, negotiate the real estate agency fee. If you've made it this far, then congrats, because you're about to hear one of the most helpful tips out there for negotiating the price down. If you're in the market to find an existing build, 85% of these properties are actually sold by real estate agents. So finding an existing build that's not sold by an agent is really difficult, and it greatly limits your options. What a lot of people don't know is that what you can actually do is ask the real estate agent to include the agency fee in the price. When you buy a property, you have to cover the purchase fees. You have property transfer tax, notary fee, and the real estate agent commission in the event that the property is being sold by an agency. If you don't have enough savings to cover these purchase fees, what you can do is include the agency fee in the price. This decreases your upfront costs. For example, let's say I'm buying a 100,000 euro property. If I were to decrease the property price from 100,000 to 95,000, but still include the agency fee, I would have to pay around 11,000 euros upfront to cover these mandatory costs. Now, if I do the opposite and ask them to include the agency fee in the price, then even though officially my price stays at 100 grand, the initial costs are only about 8 to 9K. This way, you can negotiate the property price down without technically doing so. Instead of decreasing the price itself, you decrease your initial costs, which makes it easier for you to buy a property that is being sold by a real estate agent, but it also makes it easier for you to use less of your savings so that you can use more for your alternative investments or for the down payment. And there you have it, 7 effective ways to negotiate the property price. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, comment them below. One of our mortgage experts are going to get back to you as soon as possible, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video.